Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going over what items you should buy in the 15th anniversary Pixel coin shop. This has been a requested video, so I figured I might as well go ahead and give my 2 cents on what I think you should buy from this. Now, you should never just take my word as law, even though I think it wouldn't be a bad idea. But you should always follow your own intuition and do what you want. And so without further ado, let's get right into it. The first tab, the Pixel tab, is pretty much all cosmetics. And you can see right now I'm currently in the Reboot server, so there are going to be some items in here for the regular servers, Scania, Bara, Elysium, and Aurora, that are not in this market. Those I will not cover, but if you really want to know what I think the only thing you're missing out on is the ICOGs and the Monster Life gems, and pretty much those are just on a case-by-case basis. But I'm not going to get too into that. So, first tab, as I said, the only thing I think that might be worth it, and I really emphasize might, is the Pixel Sun chair. Now, I say this because I think I might be wrong, and that this chair, if it's like the Sun chair that we've had in the past, is just as large as that Sun chair. So some of you might be asking, why is that important? It's because the Sun chair basically allows you to AFK in maps like CLP, Cavern Lower Path. That's important because if you're a Kana Mule specifically, you don't want to die in there when you're kitchening yourself. Which is why I recommend getting this chair if you are a Kana Mule, and if you plan on kitchening yourself. Yeah. That's pretty much the only thing I'm going to go over. If you guys like accessories, like basically these damage skins are very unlikely to ever come back, so if you do like them, go ahead and buy them, but I don't care too much about aesthetic. No, that's a lie, I do care. I don't care too much about like damage skins and chairs, so. Moving on, the first chair, we have this chair. Basically, use it to AFK. You don't really need to buy it, but you can buy it if you want. But besides that, the only 2 items that I think are worth it in this shop specifically is the Arcane symbol and the Nodestone. And I say that just because for some characters, especially for newer characters, it might be hard to farm these Nodestones and Arcane symbols. And basically, if you're level 220, I highly recommend you use these Arcane symbols on your Latchland symbol, because Dream Defender is the only, it is the only daily Arcane River quest that is curbed based off of your power. The stronger you are, the higher up the tower you get, the more coins you get, the more symbols you get. That's the gist. Nodestones are just very good for your final damage, because if you don't know, Nodestones help you get stronger. I know it could be quite the concept. But besides that, I think if you want, you can also buy the Infinite Revitalizers if you're crafting, but again, if you're not crafting, you really don't need to worry about this. For the next tab, basically there's a couple things in here that you might be interested in. Definitely, if you have your Arcane Umber weapon, maybe I would really suggest otherwise your Absolute weapon, you should invest in your Eternal Rebirth Flames to try to get tier 7 attack. Now that's important because these flames are otherwise only obtainable through boss drop or other events, unless you have some stored up on your character from when they first released the flame system. I don't recommend buying powerful Rebirth Flames because they only cost about 9 mil in the general market. Another item that you might want is Epic Potential Scrolls, especially if you Garden just isn't enough. Again, I don't think that people should buy these. I feel like it's not too difficult to get Epic Potential Scrolls from other means, and 100 coins could be used elsewhere, like Mega Character Burninator. I also recommend buying this if you don't have sufficient Legion. I highly recommend any player to have at least 6,000 to get the full Legion board so they can access the maximum boss damage, crit damage, Legion slots. And now I think this is probably one of the most important things now with the recent Gall exchange. I will release a separate video talking about this. But the Reboot Cosmos Ring, maybe not the Synergy Ring, because I think it only gets the stat when you have like 5 characters equipping it. The Reboot Vengeful ring. I mean, if you want to farm on 5 characters, go ahead and do so and buy this, but otherwise there is an alternative. The Reboot Vengeful ring. Basically, these 2 rings are what's going to replace your Gollux rings until you are strong enough to do Gollux and get the rings that Gollux sells in the shop. People, I think, are too hung up on the fact that, oh, there's no way to progress. Well, Gollux, before then, there was also a time where people were sufficiently strong without Gollux items. I know it might be hard to imagine now, but it was a thing. So everyone knows that Gollux was doable back then, and it sure as hell is still doable now, with or without the Gollux items. And this is basically what you're going to use. Reboot Vengeful ring, Reboot Cosmos ring, and not this ring, but a 3rd ring that I'll be showing very soon. I don't recommend this because if I'm correct, it won't be potable, and instead you'll get like a fixed potential that's like crit damage or whatever. Don't do it. The rest of these items you can just ignore. You might want a 40-slot soul bag. In Reboot specifically, I think in regular server you can now buy these. But 40-slot soul bags will basically help your end game character. So buy this on your main if you are going to buy it. To store souls, because 40 slots is a lot of inventory space. Now we're in the 3rd, and the first item I want to talk about is, of course, the 3rd ring. The Chaos ring is arguably one of the best event rings that you can get, because its stats can be reset and I think cubed up until unique. Excuse me. So basically, this is going to be your 3rd and 3rd ring from this shop, and your 4th ring. Your 4th ring is going to be your Kana's treasure that you can get from whatever you call it. Why am I blanking? Princess No Prequests. So this, I'll make a separate video going in depth on how to replace your Gollux accessories for those of you who aren't there yet. So keep in tune for that. And the next 2 items that I highly recommend you buy are the Labyrinth Arcane Symbol Box and the Mysterious Nodestone Box. Basically, they give a random number of nodes and arcane symbols, which range from like 2 to like 15 or something. I don't even know what the highest you can get is, but it's a lot. So I highly recommend buying these out. Pendant of Spirit is a maybe. I don't think... Actually, it's actually really good. The 30% additional EXP is really good if you're sufficiently strong to kill monsters. Otherwise, if you're not, I don't recommend buying this because you'd rather have that damage to one-shot mobs, 1 or 2-shot mobs, than you would the 30% EXP. Special Medal of Honor, you might be interested in it, especially if you need the honor. But you don't have to, because if you farm sufficiently, you will get enough honor. But again, these are all cosmetics, which I'm not going to talk about, because if you like cosmetics, you can do whatever the hell you want. Now this tab, I think is probably the worst tab. There's an Epic Potential, a Master Craftsman Cube Pack, and I honestly don't recommend buying any of them. I say this because there's so many sources that provide Epic Potential scrolls. There's Legion, Hugh Garden. You can get it from Elite Monster Drops. And I'm sure there's other ways to get Epic Potential scrolls too, and you really don't need to spend 300 coins on them 100%. But, of course, guys, don't take my word for law. If you will it and you need your item Epic Potential, go ahead and buy what you want. It's your game, your account, my 2 cents. Now we're in the last slot. Again, these 4 items are all cosmetics, but I think they look really cool. I'm just saying, especially this sword. You'll never be able to get it again, so if you don't want to listen to me, that's fine, but I'm just saying, it's kind of cool. Otherwise, the items that you're really looking at here, if you want to improve your damage, is the Eternal Rebirth Flame ×10 package. You get 2 per world, that's 20 flames. Super good. Highly recommend buying these if you have an arcane weapon. If you don't and you're running Absolab, you should be fine using the powerful Rebirth Flames. Like I said, the tier 7 has a really big difference for arcane weapons. So if you have Absolab, it doesn't really matter. Black cubes, I honestly want to say to not buy this just because these 10 cubes is like 220 mil, which Honestly, I personally don't think it's too hard to farm, but then again, you know, I have a Kana, so if you don't want to listen to me, that's fine. Go ahead and buy your black cubes. 10 of them really won't get you anywhere unless you're lucky as hell. Cough, cough, me in my last video, but yeah. Don't buy this. 1 per world, 15 stars, 5,000 coins is just no way. Experience node, this can be good, but again, it's really only good for using it on your skills, and for 500 coins, I feel like you could probably better spend that elsewhere. Chaos Circulators, you should buy if you're planning on min-maxing your inner ability, and by that, if you know what min-maxing is, and you know what your best inner ability lines are, you probably don't need me to explain what this does. Don't buy this, because you can buy it for like 19 mil or something. And yeah, the shop isn't honestly that big. There's a lot of items in here that I think it's pretty much more tailored for beginner players because there's really nothing of interest for... Not nothing of interest, because there's definitely other items too in non-reboot servers that I think people at the later game can buy. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on what items you should buy from the 15th anniversary rewarded coin pixel coin shop. If you have any questions, as always, leave a comment down below. I'll try my best to answer them. And of course, if you click the subscribe button if you learned something today. And as always, happy mapling.